All right. Hello. Welcome. I'm Diane Cunningham Ellis, and I love to bring you inspiring women. And this woman in front of me is new to me. Her name is Liz Wilcox, and I'm going to have her introduce herself in just a quick second. I heard about her on a random post. This is how we all hear about everything. We go running around the internet. And I am in a group with Elizabeth Goddard, and I am in two groups with her. And I saw Lizzie post about this awesome woman and her email system, or her email subject lines and email thing. And so of course I went running over and grabbed the freebie and then joined the $9 membership, and then told all my people, and they went running over too. And so we all, like, I have your subject lines printed out, and I'm writing the date when I sent that one because
I
I'm a
love
goober,
that.
because I am a super goober. And so Liz, just go ahead and introduce yourself in any way you so choose, and then I will ask you a couple of questions.
Sure. So, like Diane said, I am Liz Wilcox, and you know that feeling you get when you're listening to something like this, or you've got the podcast in your ear, and someone, the gurus out there, they always tell you, oh, well, just email your people. That's how you make money. And so you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And so, you sign up for ConvertKit or Active Campaign, maybe you get MailChimp, something like that. And you go to sit down and you've got your hands on the keyboard, and then you immediately feel like a complete idiot because you have no idea what to write. So then you start Googling, you start looking at other emails you've gotten in the past, and you're like, oh, I have no idea what to write. And you just sit there for hours. Well, I help you eliminate that entire feeling. I make writing emails super simple. And when I say that, I really mean it. I don't like to do anything that is hard. I love myself so much. And so over the last 5 years of writing emails, building a business, I feel like I've really boiled it down to what is absolutely necessary for people to read, be on the receiving end of emails, and to write them, to be the one actually doing the work.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you'll love this. I was in an email panic this morning because I'm having a birthday bundle. Tomorrow's my birthday. And of course, my Active Campaign wasn't letting me type in it. And that was causing me some angst. And then I have sent the email and no one has bought anything from my email. So I'm like, okay, I didn't use the right subject line. And who knows what's going to happen, but there's so much to learn about languaging. What do I say in the subject line? What do I say in the email? Am I saying too much? Am I saying too little? Is there too many videos? Is there not enough video? So you have been in this world. Like, how did you get into the email world?
Sure. So I find a lot of email marketers, they start out as copywriters, right? They are hired by people like she mentioned, Lizzie Goddard, or, the like. And so they just start writing emails, sales pages, all that, and they learn all the stuff about copywriting. And then usually they go into building their own business, and they're like, hey, let me teach you how to do it. I did the exact opposite. So I started off as an RV blogger. I lived in an RV. Clearly, this is not an RV, although I did have a bunch of NSYNC stuff in my rig. And so I started off as an RV travel blogger. I knew I wanted it to be a business. I knew I wanted my blog to fund my travels. And so, of course, I heard all the gurus saying, the money's in the list. My biggest regret is not taking my email list seriously, et cetera, et cetera. And so I said, well, mama didn't raise no fool. And so I just went all in on the email marketing with my blog. I went all in on my blog was really just, to collect emails. And I just started emailing folks. I started launching products. And but towards the end, I launched an RV maintenance course. And I had 141 people on the wait list for that. And by cart close date, I made 141 sales. So as I started, I know every time I say it, it sounds so cheesy, but it's true. Like, that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
This is not a webinar, folks. I'm not trying to tell you anything. Like, that's what happened. So as I started telling people that story, their eyes get big, like, holy crap, Liz, that's actually impossible. I'm like, no, here's the receipts. This is what happened. And I always knew I didn't want to talk about RVing forever. And just having that confidence and being able to say, oh, this is how I did it through email marketing. And here's how I set up the foundation. And here's how I launched it. I realized, oh, that's a business. And so I sold the RV blog in March of 2020. And a few months before that, I started going all in on the email marketing. And it's been, as of the time of this recording, almost 2 years with the email marketing. But that's how I got into it. I kind of just did it the exact opposite of most digital marketers out there. Once I sold my business, I started selling services, saying like, hey, I can write emails the way that I wrote them for myself. And I just found that people really liked that I had my own experience, because I understood the literal emotional roller coaster of, this is my idea, is anybody going to like it, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So I bring all of that to the table when I write for people, when I do my Diane mentioned the membership, all of that is like, because I've literally done it for myself. The email marketing business is my third online business.
Okay. Well, I love that story. I sold a business in 2017, and I know, it's hallelujah. Like, somebody paid for it and I let it go. And it's still going. So yay. And there's such a, there's a freedom, and then there's like, okay, well, who am I now? And what am I doing now? That is unbelievable. The 141 and sold, like what?
I know. When I didn't even realize it until I was giving a debrief for someone else's. I run a mastermind for someone, and I was doing the debrief, and they were like, Liz, do you know that means 100%? I was like, oh yeah. And they were like, that, most people do 1 to 3%. I'm like, well, if you listen to how I did it, I think everyone. And she was like, no, that's crazy. Like, hold the recording, So it was a really fun process for me to realize just how big of a deal it was as well.
Yeah. And so part of your day is you actually get, so you have your $9 membership, which we're going to talk about. And then people hire you to write their emails for them for a program or a campaign. Is that right?
That's correct. At the time of this recording, you can still hire me for copywriting services. I don't do it as often. The whole point was to start doing copywriting. I knew I could sell emails, like digitize. I knew I was very good at selling digital products. If you can name a digital product, chances are I've sold it. I've run summits. I've done the whole shebang. And so I started selling my services to build up the cash flow to be able to slowly go all in on digital products. And now I saw about half of my income comes from digital products. I have that membership Diane mentions. I have a few other different things, a workshop, some templates, some other stuff. And then the other half comes from services. So I'm hoping by the end of 2021, I will be able to phase out client work altogether.
Nice. Okay. Yay. So tell us about, when did you birth the $9 membership? And you now have about 350. So from birth to today, what have you experienced?
Sure. So like I just mentioned about being able to phase out client work, I know that I am not a forever service provider. Some people are, but I consider myself a creative person, and I like to do a ton of different stuff. Like I just mentioned, if you can name a digital product, I've given it a go. And so I find that's what I truly love. And also I live on the beach. I really love going to the beach. And when you have a ton of client work, you can't really do that. Like today, I've been sitting here at my desk since about 5:30 this morning. So about 9 hours doing client work. And when I get off this call, I'm going to hit the beach.
Yay!
Yeah. So it was the beginning of 2021. I kept talking about, by the end of the year, I want to phase out client work. or I only want to take on client work if I want to, if somebody approaches me and I love their program, or I think they're super cool or whatever, right? And so, but then I was doing nothing about it except trying to chase more clients. It was the beginning of February of 2021, and I had all these big clients coming to me. I had signed 2 $10,000 contracts, and I was sitting there. It was mid-February, and I'm sitting there about to write my newsletter. And that's my whole thing with email marketing. I teach a lot about newsletters, and I'm thinking to myself, what the heck am I going to talk about today? And I was starting to think about how I really want to generate passive income. Maybe I could give some tips on passive income, how I've done it in the past. And this thought came to me about, well, Liz, are you going to talk about passive income, or are you going to actually start creating some passive income in your life? Because my definition of success is to be an example of what's possible. And I have that as a sticky note right here on my desk. And I look at it every day. And I saw that sticky note, and this idea came to me that I had a few months before. Someone in a mastermind group I was in was talking about how they paid for templates. It was a monthly membership, and they got Canva templates for Instagram or something. And in my head, I thought, oh, that would be so perfect. I could do that for newsletters. Everyone hates writing newsletters. I love writing newsletters. I can do it in 20 minutes, hence my 20-minute newsletter product. And I could just do that all day. And then I promptly, like any good idea, I just put it away and never did it. So here I am, flash forward back to February 2021. And I said, okay, Liz, are you going to create passive income, or are you just going to keep talking about it? Right. And so I wrote up this newsletter. I said, hey, I've got this idea for this membership. I'm going to send you out a weekly newsletter. You can use it right then and there for your own business. It'll have a template, a skeleton, maybe a swipe in it. And, maybe I'll do once a month calls. It was just kind of all this stuff I was just throwing in there. I was like, once a month calls. And then I'll have a theme, so you can get a bunch of emails at once, like a flash sale or a launch, or how to get replies or whatever. We'll have a theme of the month. Does that sound good? It'll be $9. And because I was like, what is a price? So I had my 20-minute newsletter, which was a $22 product. And it was converting pretty well. And I had the value letter, $22 all the way up to $2,000, all the way up to $10,000, right? I've got the value letter. I've beaten it to death, right? But I'm like, but there's still, to me, who's used to apparently big head here, used to 100% conversion rates. I'm like, why don't I have more people as customers? At the time, it was I think my list was made up about 15% customers. And in my head, I'm like, I know I can serve so many more people. So all that to say, that's why I chose the $9 pricing. Number one, I wanted to create more customers in my business because I do have the value letter. I have the 22, the 50, the 100, the 500, blah, blah, blah. I have all that. But if I'm not getting them in at $22, what can I create to get them in? And what does that price need to be? And so I really started thinking about myself. I have a lot of newbies in my audience. And I started thinking, like, what is a no freaking brainer price? And what is something that, or can I create these email templates for that no brainer? Is it worth it for that no brainer price?
Right.
And for me, I create in my membership, it takes me less than 45 minutes a week. It's something that is completely in my zone of genius. I can knock it out very quickly. Even this morning in 90 minutes, I wrote the entire newsletter for the week. And then I did the theme of the month, which was, I wrote 8 sales emails, and that was in 90 minutes. Like, very simple for me. This is my zone of genius. Like, do not attempt if it's not your actual zone of genius. So I will say it does not take me a lot of time. And so I wrote the subject line, can I have $9? And put all that in the email. Hey, this is something I'm thinking about doing. I really want to make it accessible for everybody. If you're just starting out, I just want you to get your dang newsletter out. If you can give me $9, I can give you the words.
Right.
And that first day, I think I had 30 sales. And then I sent out a follow-up email. Hey, I want to get 100 people in 30 days. And I'm really good, if you can't tell, I like bringing up the energy of people. I love, if I could be anything, my dream job would be like a hip hop hype man, to just be on stage and like hyping the MC, right? That would like, or hyping the main guy, right? That'd be my dream job. So I was like, I want to get to 100. Let's get to 100. And I mentioned that because that's always part of my strategy. The reason why I could get 141 sales is I was hyping it up so much. Even telling the story, I keep escalating it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like 100, every email I sent, oh, we're 20 away from 100, or, whatever. And so we hit 128 days,
Wow.
which is super. I'm like, I love saying that. It feels so good. And then I decided I wanted to hit 1,000 by the end of 2021. That would be about $9,000 recurring to my bottom line. And my business, I keep it very simple. Just full disclosure, I need less than $7,000 a month to keep my business and I have myself on a salary. And so I was like, if I could get to that, that would allow me to spend a little more, give myself a little more cash, and it would be good. So that's the trajectory I'm on right now. Whether or not I hit it, I don't know, but it's really exciting to try. I guess about 6 weeks ago, so beginning of summer 2021, I started reaching out to affiliates. I started telling the members of it's called email marketing membership. You can't get any simpler than that. Started reaching out. Hey, will you promote it? Yeah, sure, Liz. Send me the link. And then started reaching out to people that I've known since I've been in business for a long time. People know the success of my travel blog. They know the success I'm seeing now. Reaching out, had so many calls midsummer, and now those people are starting to promote. I'm also getting on podcasts, trainings like this one, and just using all of that networking power to build the membership. I do not run ads. I think it would be naive to say I will never run ads, but at this point, I'm very anti-ads. I believe that I work really hard for my money, and Mark Zuckerberg has enough of it. And I will say it is one of my superpowers to be able to connect with people and to do video and podcasts. So I just use that to my advantage, do lots of interviews, things like that. As of August 2021, I've done almost 35 podcast interviews this year. So I'm hoping, as those podcasts and trainings like this are evergreen, so they allow new people to continuously find you and sign up. And I'm seeing the effects of that now as I get new members in saying, oh, I found you through this podcast or this training, or, Lizzie mentioned you, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, and I'm pumped up, ready to run out on the field. Okay. And excited that you get to go to the beach after this.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Pacific Coast, or I think you're East Coast?
I'm in the Gulf of Mexico. So my time zone is central, which a lot of people don't know. Some of Florida is central time.
Okay. I'm central as well. Okay, I'm super excited. I'm taking notes like frantic over here. And
don't worry, Diane, it's being recorded. You can go back.
Thank you so much. I love, because I was doing the numbers too this morning of your estimate of so right now you've gone from 0 to 3,150 a month from this thing that took you 45 minutes to 90. That's good. It's really good.
It's very good.
Yeah. And
thank you.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I mean, I was telling some of my women this morning, I have a love-hate relationship with memberships, and because I've done 2 different ones, and anyway, you did it. You're doing it right. Hello. Okay, so tell us, because I want to be mindful of your beach time. Tell us how to do this 20-minute email, the basics, just give me some basics.
Sure. So my whole thing is, a lot of email marketers out there, they're going to teach you how to write copy, how to use your voice, how to tell stories, and how to write sales emails and pre-launch and webinar and all that. And I found there was just a real gap in telling you how to actually get your newsletter out, especially once a week. The majority of us, I will say, not everyone needs to write a newsletter once a week. It's not right. If you're an Etsy shop and you make candles, why are you emailing everybody once a week? That doesn't make sense. But if you're like me or Diane, and your niche is semi-saturated, you're really trying to build a personal brand, you really probably do need to be writing once a week. But I just found there was no one really telling you how to do that except tell stories. But here's the thing. We're living in a post-COVID world, right? I don't have my phone on me, but pretend this is a phone, right? This is what we did the last 18 months of our life. Right? We couldn't leave the house. And okay, we're going to close Facebook. We're going to open Instagram. Oh, I'm so tired of Instagram. I'm going to close it. Oh, crap. How the heck did I just open Instagram again? Right? We're all burnt out. We spend so much time online that, your customer base doesn't have time to read a story every single time you email them. And chances are you don't have time to write a story. Chances are you are not, you're not a professionally trained storyteller like me or other copywriters out there that are telling you to write stories. It's very easy advice to give. People pay me a ton of money to tell stories for them. Right. But chances are, you just want to stick to your thing. So instead of telling stories, and this is going to change the game for you, if you learn nothing, like here's the ding, 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 here's the bell, here's what you need to write down and remember. You can stop telling stories in your emails. You don't have time to write them. Your person doesn't have time to read them. It will actually tune them out. If they, I know Liz is going to tell me a story, but I don't, it's a good story, but I don't have time to read it. I'm going to save it for later. No, we want people to open the email right this second, right when we send it, right?
Right.
So instead of telling stories, just give a personal update. And this is why it's so easy for me to crank out that membership at $9 a month and make it be profitable, because it only takes me 45 minutes. Because I'm not telling a story. Every single email I send you does not have a story in it, but it does have a place for a personal update. And what I mean by that is, again, let me pick up my mouse phone. You get on the phone. I'm talking to Diane. Hey, Diane, how's it going? Oh, I just interviewed Liz Wilcox about her email membership. What's up with you? That's the update. She just told you. She didn't go into a story about, oh, Liz was wearing a pink headphone and it was hilarious. She had the NSYNC thing and she was using her mouse. No, we don't have time for that. I'm not that close of a friend to you. Just give me the update, right? Just say you did this training, or I wore my zebra blouse today because it makes me feel good, or, just personal update is just 2 to 3 sentences about what happened. If I was writing my newsletter today, it might be Monday was a really busy day for me. I had a day rate, which means I wrote 13 emails in 6 hours. And then I had a call with Diane where I talked about how to write a newsletter in 20 minutes or less. That's the update. That took me 12 seconds to come up with, because it actually happened. It was like I didn't have to make it up or try to come up with details that, to segue into selling you some $2,000 program. And then you can just segue from that personal update with, and this is super simple, all caps, the word anyway, ... What I really want to talk to you about is, my new podcast episode, this Instagram reel I found, my new blog post, whatever the heck kind of content. Or you can even in the newsletter, here are the 3 ways to save money today. 1, 2, 3, right in the newsletter. But the personal update is there. It takes the place of a story. It takes the place of having to segue and have this hook and all this stuff your 10th grade English teacher told you when you weren't paying attention. When you were trying to write a note and fold it in that pretty way. Right. Are we all at that age when we used, we were pre-cell phone, right?
Yes.
We don't remember that stuff. That's for professionals. So just write the personal update, and then you can segue literally by saying, anyway, what I really want to talk about is that. But that personal update makes that personal connection, right? I teach, turn
Mhm.
your followers, turn your subscribers into friends. That can turn them into a friend very quickly. You're making that personal connection without being excessive about it. You're also respecting their time. If your
Right.
audience is full of single moms or stay-at-home moms, or corporate 9 to 5, that it's really more like 9 to 8,
Right.
they don't have time for that. So respect their
Right.
time, but you can still connect just with that quick personal update. And that's how you write a newsletter in 20 minutes or less.
Well, I just feel a sense of freedom even just hearing that, because it's the same thing. So let me just, like, I have a private Facebook group, at Brave Women Nation. And in there, I talk about that me and my husband how to fight on a New York City street, like I'm having a food breakdown because I have food issues, and we're like trying to buy a slice of pizza. But I don't talk, like, I didn't send that in my email today. I posted that in my little, my group of 500. Why? Because I kind of feel like they all think I'm okay. And it's like vulnerable. It's interesting, right? So what you're saying is that is actually a really cool email to talk about this, basically a personal thing that happened to me real life on Friday in New York City, right?
Yeah. And you can say something if you're good at telling stories, or if you have something that interesting. You were in New York City arguing about pizza and gluten. That's interesting. You can write that story. I just want people to understand that you don't have to do that every single time.
Right.
If
Right.
you're just sitting around watching your dogs lick themselves, like you just, free yourself from trying to turn that into a story and segue it into your $500 program. Free yourself, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just give them a personal, hey, nothing's going on here. The weather's kind of hot, so I'm staying inside with the dogs. That's all you have to say. That's the personal update, right? You don't have, anyway, here's a funny blog post I
Right.
saw.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
that make sense? But if you do have that interesting pizza story where you want to make yourself vulnerable, share a little bit of something more personal, and be able to relate it to something in your coaching or your business,
Right. Right. Right.
then yes, do that. Stories, people tell stories to connect. That's correct. If you go back to the beginning of this recording, I told a story. I probably told 10 of them by now.
Right.
But if that's not your expertise, or if you're just sitting around, like I said, with your pets and you're like, what the heck? Just free yourself, write 2 to 3 sentences like you would
And
literally
go on with
pick
it.
up the phone, and then go on to what the heck you actually want to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. Love it. Love it. You are fantastic. And again, I am going to thank you for your time and take my cute notes, and then know that I will be able to listen back, which I probably never will. Let's tell the truth. But because
He's a
I got,
truth teller, folks.
but I got, here's what I love. I'm going to be able to spread the good news about you, which I was doing anyway. Here's the deal. If we meet somebody cool on the internet, like, tell your people, whether you're
Amen.
like, I don't need to be an affiliate. Who cares? Yeah, we love doing all that. Actually, I don't ever do any of that. I need to, but do what is your zone of genius, and connecting people, talking about the real thing, and if that's writing emails quickly for people, do that, right? Go where you're good. I guess this is what I'm hearing. Be willing to change, be willing to adapt, let go of businesses, sell them, go to the next place, build a life, which you are totally a great example of, building a life that is continuing to evolve more and more into what you really want it to be. So anyway, tell them how to find you and all the good things.
Sure. So I'm Liz Wilcox. Of course, I want you to join my email list. That would be the best thing ever. Every email that I write, I want you to take it. I want you to take it and write it for yourself. When I write newsletters, I'm like, oh, gosh, I can picture certain people on my email list, taking it and using it for themselves.
Yep.
So join my email list. You can go to lizwilcox.com. There's a pretty pink button right at the top right-hand corner that says get my free email swipes. If you have no email set up, the swipes are going to be perfect for you. It comes with an entire welcome sequence that's already written out for you. You can take and make it your own. It's got 3 newsletter examples to show you what I mean by all those personal updates and such. And then, as Diane has now shown us twice, it's got those 52 subject lines that you can use as email prompts. And those subject lines, which I don't know if you know this, Diane, but they've garnered me a 40% open rate or higher. Those are the ones that I've put on there. And then, of course, when you do join my email list, on the 4th day, I am going to ask you if I can have $9. And if all that personal update stuff, you think, okay, this is great, but I'm still not writing my newsletters, or I still need more help, you can get into the membership. You can try it out for just $9 for a month. And I send out a weekly newsletter every Monday. So you've got the whole week to figure out how to get it, written just for you. And I've got a template and 2 swipes, which means 2 examples of 2 different businesses that swipe would be used for. It's got a video walkthrough. It's really quite excessive, but not in an overwhelming way. It's just got everything you would ever need to be able to use that email. And that's only $9 a month. You can cancel anytime if you think, oh, this is too much or not enough for me. And then also, if you like Instagram, you can find me over at the Liz Wilcox, THE Liz Wilcox, where I post really funny 2000s memes and my best email tips as well.
Nice. Well, one of my clients that I told about you used your on a Friday night. She used your I'm feeling generous this week, and she keeps talking about. I was like, oh my gosh, she got 40% open rate, and and she's like, sold on you, and she's super excited on talking to you today. But it's just those little blips that can make a huge difference. So thank you so much, Liz, for your time today. And I'm going to just close this. I'm Diane Cunningham Ellis. You can find me at dianecunningham.com. And let's go out and write some good email. Let's talk to our people. All right.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Bye.